My name is Tanya Nichols, and I am a patient at McLaren Bay Wound Care Center. I was diagnosed with a very rare vascular disorder called calciphylaxis, and basically it's just a buildup of calcium in the vascular system. From there on, those areas of skin die out. The typical areas are where I did get most of my wounds, and so I first came to the wound clinic, referred I think in September, and actually the first day I was here, Tara basically told me you have to go to the hospital like right now, today. So I had to go there to be transported by the ambulance to have a complete debridement, which Dr. Hoy did, to clean out all the wounds. And not only do I have the rare disease, but I also have the rarest form of it. So there's very little to no research on it, and the fatality rate is typically like 80% within 6 months. So I basically almost felt like I had a death sentence. I have a child, so I'm, planning for the worst and praying for the best. I'm hiring a lawyer and planning my will. I spent my 40th birthday in a nursing home, not even knowing if I'm going to even be lucky enough to make it 6 months. So it completely flipped my world upside down.
My name's Tara Stefan. I'm the nurse practitioner at the McLaren Bay Region Wound Care Center. I first met Tanya in the fall of last year. I was a little bit familiar with her case. Dr. Hoy had taken care of her in the hospital. Tanya had COVID, had a cardiac arrest, had ended up on a ventilator, and then had developed these painful necrotic wounds. Her wounds were extremely significant, I'd say covering probably 30% of her body. Since my career started here, it's possibly the worst wounds I've seen. So when she came to me, we had already had a diagnosis of calciphylaxis. So I knew what was causing her symptoms. And most commonly, the symptoms that patients have with calciphylaxis is pain. They are in extreme pain.
I remember one day it got to a point where I was in the nursing home and my pain was so severe. And the nurses just didn't know how to quite take care of me, that I just remember being in pain a lot of days. And I couldn't see anybody because of COVID. And my friend texts me and she's like, I just need to know what your wishes are, just in case, what you want and how you want things to be, Actually had no idea I was going to survive this until I stumbled upon this page on Facebook. It's called Surviving Calciphylaxis, and it's one other woman I was able to find who suffered from the same disease that I did and was able to survive. And I had no idea I was going to survive until I stumbled upon her page.
It's kind of surreal, to be honest with you, because I was brand new and I felt overwhelmed because I didn't know if she was gonna live. It was scary, and it was my responsibility. I'm brand new to this, and people are telling me just keep doing what you're doing, and she's a human being. And when she comes in here and she's in pain and talking to you I don't know what I'm gonna do, and you just have to motivate her, and it's hard. And it becomes real, and it's hard. You go midnight, and that's why I spent hours, because I didn't want anything bad to happen to her. I felt like I had a grasp on so many other things that I was taking care of, and I felt like I had to do it. I had to have an understanding for her, because if I didn't have the answers, how was I going to give them to her? How was I going to help her? She could have went one of two ways. She could have went the other way. She was in so much pain, and she just it's the beauty of this job. People in the beginning, they feel like there's no hope. How are you ever gonna help me? How are you ever gonna help me? How's this ever gonna get better? And then now she's happy. She wants to start working again. She wants to be a part of society. It changes your life, and I hope I change hers. That's the whole point of this.
I'm hoping to be a voice not only for those who have calciphylaxis, but I just really want to give hope to people who might not know that they might not survive, because I did not. And I want to share my story because I heard a quote and it said those who recover loudly, and it can often be messy. So by sharing my story and being just honest with it and open, and the further it gets, the more people that are going to be saved, and it gives the more people hope of survival. Because I didn't have that for a long time, and I want to be able to have knowledge that if I can just help one person and make all that difference, that's where I'm using my recovery as a platform for that.